They led Jesus to Pilate. Here. Jesus was led to Pilate. Here.
Jesus was arraigned before the governor, before Pontius Pilate, who questioned Jesus. Here.
Are you the king of the Jews? Pilate asked. He asked, are you king of the Jews?
Surely you have some answer, he said. Surely you have some answer.
You are the one who is saying it, Jesus answered.
Are you king of the Jews? Surely you have some answer.
Are you king of the Jews?
You are the one who is saying it.
Are you king of the Jews? Are you king of the Jews, he said. Well, are you?
You are the one.
From the book of Mark. As soon as it was daybreak, the chief priests, the elders and religious scholars, the whole Sanhedrin reached a decision. They bound Jesus and led him away and handed him over to Pilate, who interrogated him.
Yes, they bound him. The chief priests, the scholars, and the elders, they bound him and turned him over to Pilate.
Are you king of the Jews? He asked. Jesus responded, you are the one who is saying it. The chief priests brought many accusations against him, and Pilate interrogated Jesus again. Surely you have some answer? See how many accusations they are leveling against you. But to Pilate's astonishment,
he was silent. Jesus was silent.
But to Pilate's astonishment, Jesus made no further response. Now, whenever there was a festival, Pilate would release for them one prisoner, anyone they asked for.
Barabbas. They asked for Barabbas.
Not Jesus, but Barabbas.
It would have been so simple.
We all knew Jesus was innocent.
There was a prisoner named Barabbas who was jailed along with the rioters who had committed murder in the uprising. When the crowd came to ask that Pilate honor the custom, Pilate rejoined, do you want me to release for you the king of the Jews? Pilate was aware, of course, that it was out of jealousy that the chief priests had handed Jesus over. But the chief priests incited the crowd to have him release Barabbas instead. Pilate again asked them, what am I to do with the one you call the king of the Jews? The people shouted back, crucify him! Why? Pilate asked. What crime has he committed? But they shouted all the louder, crucify him!
Again and again.
Crucify him! Crucify him!
Over and over and over.
Crucify him. Crucify him. Crucify him. Crucify him. Crucify him.
So Pilate, wishing to satisfy the crowd, released Barabbas to them. And after having Jesus scourged, handed him over to be crucified.
We assembled a battalion of soldiers.
Someone wove a crown of thorns and put it on him.
They pretended to pay homage.
Yes, kneeling at his feet.
And then spitting on him.
And they led him out to be crucified.
A passerby named Simon, the father of Alexander and Rufus, was coming in from the fields. The soldiers pressed him into service to carry Jesus' cross. They brought Jesus to the site of Golgotha, which means place of the skull. Then they nailed him to the cross and divided his garments by rolling dice for them to see what each should take.
It was about 9 a.m. when he was crucified. The inscription listing the charge read, "The King of the Jews."
With Jesus, they crucified 2 robbers, one on his right and one on his left.
People going by insulted Jesus, shaking their heads and saying, "So you were going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days? Save yourself now by coming down from that cross."
Chief priests and religious scholars jeered.
He saved others, they said. He cannot save himself.
When noon came, darkness fell over the whole countryside. It lasted until about 3 in the afternoon. At 3, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani." My God, why have you forsaken me?
Bystanders hearing this said, "Listen, he's calling on Elijah."
I remember someone got a sponge, soaked it in sour wine, and put it on a reed and tried to make Jesus drink.
And with that, Jesus uttered a loud cry and breathed his last.
At that moment, the curtain in the sanctuary was torn in two from top to bottom. The centurion who stood guard over Jesus, seeing how he died, declared,
"Clearly, this was God's own."
This was God's own.
This was God's own.
There were women present, looking on from a distance. Mary of Magdala, Mary the mother of James the Younger, Salome. Women who had followed Jesus when he was in Galilee.
We leave healed. I'm safe.
Joseph from Arimathea arrived,
Thank you for letting us come.
seeking an audience with Pilate to ask for the body of Jesus.
We leave healed. I feel safe.
Pilate was surprised that Jesus had died so soon.
And we are home.
On seeing this, he gave over the body.
We are forgiven.
We are healed.
Joseph took Jesus down from the cross, wrapped him in linen, and
We are home.
laid his body in a tomb cut out of rock.
Home.
Finally, he rolled a large stone across the opening.
Amen.
Amen.
Clearly, this was God's own.